Tonight on Poker After Dark,
Why don't you tell the story?
Oh, you hit a nerve.
Phil Hellmuth is in his wheelhouse for a classic sit and go.
You want me to tell you I think you're better than Phil Ivey at something? What?
Daniel Negreanu plays the foil,
Promoting yourself. There.
Okay, heights and weights, guys. Heights and weights.
and Maria Ho plays them all like a fiddle.
Nick, how do you feel about your seat right now?
I love it.
You may have grown accustomed to hearing that music and thinking it's time for some cash game poker. But tonight, we harken back to the old days of Poker After Dark. Inside the Poker After Dark suite, yours truly, Alina Jad, alongside Veronica Brill, with the interviews for an old school sit and go. $10,000 ahead, and just got a glimpse at some of the competitors, familiar to you for the most part, and we'll go through them in a moment. 15-minute levels, so it's on the turbo side of the spectrum, but instead of winner take all, like it used to be, we'll pay the top two places. In seat one, the man who coined "It's Time" UFC ring announcer Bruce Buffer, followed by DFS and NFT analyst investor Peter Jennings in the two-hole. There you see Phil Hellmuth. Needs no introduction, 15-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. Nick Wright, Fox Sports 1 commentator. Daniel Negreanu, a legend unto his own right. Skipped over Maria Ho, multi-talented poker analyst and
Cheers, everyone. Good luck.
host,
Absolutely.
as well as a formidable player on the felt. And last but by no means least, John Aguiar,
What they won't know won't hurt them.
who is the senior advisor of high-stakes gaming at DraftKings.
Just like online.
Wow.
John will be happy to know yours truly has
Winner take all.
completely undiversified his
50 for
portfolio
50
into
and
an
7.
all-in
Well,
on
he said we could make
DraftKings
it
play
winner.
as of
I
a few weeks
refuse
ago.
to fold my first hand.
Any insider information will be appreciated.
Seems just like online.
Last time I got second against Lederer, but I took a little 10,000 for second.
On a
think we
less
should just make it winner
felonious
take all.
note,
I'm fine with winner take all.
Maria Ho, maybe a misdemeanor with the 9-5 offsuit.
Mandatory.
Defending,
Okay.
and Jennings
Perfect. One hand.
flopping the
Fishing
open
out.
ender and taking it down. If the name is familiar to you, you're probably in the DFS streets. And DFS stands for Daily Fantasy
I told,
Sports.
John
He is a
before we got here, the
two-time
person that
world
was, like,
champion
least to my left is you.
in
He
that
did.
space.
Really?
He did say that on the way.
I said I just get
Surprised by
destroyed.
that.
So I
Won $1
think
million
the
in
first
the
one for
first
you.
ever
I wanted to
DraftKings
love
live
you.
event in the
Turn around, look at your
Bahamas back in
beautiful face.
2012. Now serves as an analyst for DraftKings and ESPN in the DFS space.
Canceled. Canceled for giving compliments.
You
Compliments
didn't
are
say
no longer
anything
allowed.
about my beautiful face.
Yeah, it's a long day, Daniel. We got time.
Yeah. He's going to get around to everybody. Compliments for everyone.
What is it?
5-5.
Peter is the
I mean,
co-founder of Lucky Trader, an
can't
analytics
give any
platform dealing with
compliments
NFTs,
because
those being
da-da-da-da,
non-fungible
da-da-da,
tokens.
da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you'll get slayed on Twitter.
A place where money seemingly
Then you
grows
can't
like
be nice
weeds.
to people either.
Also the co-founder
You're
of
nice to me,
Fantasy
then you have to
Labs,
be
a
nice
company
to
focused on
everybody
daily
in
fantasy
the
sports
team.
media,
Okay?
analytics,
Equally.
and tools.
Got it?
The way I hear
Yeah.
you guys have been going at it, I'm surprised you're so nice to each other.
One of us is nice to the other one, I can tell you.
He called me I think it was a idiot.
Did he get mad at you? Did he get mad at you a couple
I
times?
beat him 5. He called me a idiot.
I never attacked him outside of our
He just
match
called me
stuff.
a idiot.
Jesus.
I'm gonna check.
Hellmuth and Negreanu coming off of their round one high-stakes duel match where Daniel had him
That's close to fighting words.
down to dust. Crumbs, in fact.
I know.
And Hellmuth managed to come
As
back
long as it sells tickets, right?
and
Yeah.
win round
Check.
one. There were some contentious
Everybody loves a
exchanges
fight.
heading into it. Meanwhile, Hellmuth finds himself heads up with
everybody wants to see a
ace-queen,
social
which
media
is
guy fight
still
Mayweather.
best here, though in
that is
precarious
another
shape
betting
against Nick
opportunity
Wright's
for
nut
life.
flush draw.
The Ben Askren bet and Jake
Backup
Paul,
front.
if that wasn't the most obvious bet in the world, and I love Ben, don't get me wrong, but he's not a boxer. You know,
8,000. I
as
mean,
we saw.
neither is Jake Paul, but
Dude, there might be, I mean, the way the McGregor line closed, I mean, I'd bet the house on Mayweather minus like 5,000 or something. I mean, I don't, what do you think the line was?
On your face. It's like you're laughing at me.
Well,
Size differential, so
not laughing at you.
not that that matters, but it's ridiculous.
Here, show my hand.
Hellmuth chose to flat pre out of the big, check called the 2K, and then gets away from it for 8,000.
No, it's great.
I
was
think
in
a lot of
front.
the amateurs just
Showed him a
like
worse
the
hand, Nick.
jack, so-
Could have set him
High-level
off
boxing,
hand
a lot of-
too.
No, not set me off. I wouldn't be surprised.
Firing
That's
twice
why
with
I
ace
picked
jack would have been right there, though, right? Because it would have got you to fold ace queen.
Father of three,
That's not what I had,
wife
but it
holding
would've been
down the
right,
fort
and
with the
that's the
3
exact
kids
scenario.
right now.
Well,
Got the Midwestern roots on him, does Nick?
I don't know.
But
what people
certainly
consider
more
right
outspoken than I
one
think the
minute
average
I got you.
Midwestern
isn't
Can
right.
personality.
Disaster later.
Yeah, once I start seeing you fire with ace jack, I'll be trapping you with queens
got
all
you.
day. You know what I mean?
All day, man.
All day.
He gets queens all day.
Negreanu, stop!
I mean,
Wait for
all
your own.
day.
Wait
I'm
for
just
your own
gonna have
entrance.
queens all day.
Are you
We're gonna
guys-
play 100 hands. He's gonna get queens all day. I mean, all day queens. You know.
Nice.
I know.
That's
I'd
nice
just
how you
be
twist
happy
my
to
words.
get like 9-8
Negreanu,
suited,
the
and this
politician.
guy's got queens.
The politician is in the studio.
Just said I'm gonna trap you with queens all day.
And I'm
Yeah.
going to have ace
I'm
jack
gonna trap
all those times.
And he's
So-
gonna have ace jack when you
lot
have
of
the
ace
queens,
jacks.
and an ace is gonna flop, and you're gonna stack him.
Last time we played in the studio, Maria, you got a little jiggy against me. Maybe I can trap you.
I'm trappable for sure.
I'm gonna check 100% you are.
Ooh, King 10 turns into bottom 2 on a sopping wet board.
Check.
And Maria
I will.
pumps the brakes with her ace. That allows a 9 to roll off, which connects with Nick Wright's holding. And a second round of
Got her.
checks means it's
7.
time to bet.
Got her.
Got her unannounced.
You did. You
Trapper
did.
Phil.
Like, I would have hated myself for not betting the turn, but now I kind of hate myself a little more because you check raised me. But I'm actually going to call.
Oh my God.
Ooh, here we
Please
go.
give us
The
a deuce
speech and the call.
so I can bet 6,500. What will you pay off?
A deuce? A lot.
That's not a deuce.
That's not a deuce.
King's full will be reassuring.
I guess I'll bet 8,500.
8,500.
Sub half pot river bet here. Feels a little milky. Maria now playing a 10
Got her.
kicker.
Okay.
You fold the king, Maria? Good fold.
Actually,
No, I think he flopped it.
a king was a good fold, actually.
That's what I said.
So if you folded an ace, well done.
No payoff.
Do you feel a little dead inside?
Slightly.
A king was no good.
You lost 10% of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I was always going to fold the river, but I
don't
just
know
wanted to
if-
wait long enough to hear you say, like, I'll
Got
win
her.
this one, you win the next one, because you also do
Listen,
that a lot. But
People think I'm being mean
I
to
side
Maria.
bet that he had
I love Maria.
Well,
I love Maria. But the last time we filmed, she
we
just
bet that river.
she smashed me, and I'm like,
Ran over you.
just give me more time to trap her.
Yeah.
Just give me
I know
more
it sounds
time.
crazy.
No,
but it's
I
She will
absolutely
never
game.
slow down.
You would know better.
Yeah,
king queen is a fold.
future game, but it would have been better if it happened in the
It
100,
isn't.
200 we filmed.
It's actually against him. ABC.
Oh boy.
Yeah, when Chamath
Not-
set
oh,
over
come
set
on.
me.
I'm pretty sure
That
Phil
was
uses
cold.
his right hand to check his cards.
Okay.
So there's either
Live.
going to be a barbecue sauce stain on his thigh.
I mean, we are talking about a man who folded down to like 2.3 big blinds in the WPT.
Oh, he's gone to the
championship
left.
once. Who? You did that. 2.8.
Oh.
Something. It was below 3.
COVID era
Can
thumb
I
suck.
give you
Of the
credit?
sauce
I'm
there
just saying, he's a
feels
little
slightly
reticent.
hazardous.
Sure.
But I think you're.
You're not allowed to compliment me in front of Negreanu because any compliment to me, he's gonna like.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one.
Poker After Dark is brought to you by Roman. Simple, straightforward, the way healthcare should be. Visit GetRoman.com to learn more. Manscaped. Don't gamble with your grooming tools. Visit Manscaped.com today for the best in men's grooming. And Poker Go. Get in the game at PokerGo.com. Welcome back to Poker After Dark, where Phil Hellmuth has taken a break from berating Daniel and Maria in order to inhale a chicken, bacon, and avocado burger, as well as a few of his own fingers. There's a tweet from Phil just recently. His buddies from the tech world, Chamath Palihapitiya and Jason Calacanis, played on Poker After Dark with him and famously came up with the win the min mantra.
Eating whatever
As
Phil was eating with my hands.
Phil was playing
what that would be
excruciatingly
turned
tight.
into.
That is a chicken.
A lettuce chicken
With the lettuce wrap, I'm on back on keto.
You're on keto, Phil?
Raise 1500.
No more Sour Patch Kids, nothing?
I'll be off keto for our match.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long are you gonna stay on the keto diet?
I have to have candy.
What's
You
the
couldn't pay me
distinction-
enough money to do that diet for more than 2 weeks.
What's the distinction
It's
between
not healthy.
keto
It's
and
stupid.
Atkins?
When's the match,
Bill?
Huh?
What's the distinction between keto and Atkins?
Have you guys
You
nailed
remember
that?
the old Atkins
Basically,
thing?
it's prepackaged.
All right,
It's
it's the
about
same thing.
manipulating the amount of carbs that you can have, and then you
Okay.
go all the way to carnivore and just never, and then diarrhea for like a month.
Then your body starts taking vitals from other areas of your body. You're not getting full nutrition.
I will bet.
You'll lose weight.
1500.
Ace Queen is pipped by 2 deuces here as Hellmuth and Negreanu in their first face-off. 1,500 ahead pre and post-flop. Now Hellmuth binks the ace.
And 3,500 in the dark.
Fired 2,000 on the turn and then a dark 35 on the river.
Not calling. That's for sure.
Now threatening to potentially raise.
Definitely not calling. But folding. There were some cards I would have done that with, but no.
Are you vegan?
Fine.
Yeah.
I knew you had been. I didn't know if you.
Now I didn't
Oh,
spot
yeah,
a
yeah.
napkin
20 years
at
now?
any point.
Good for you.
So unless that bottle is really absorbent, I'm still trying to figure out
Oh, I need a product placement shot.
where we shed the
Negreanu.
Which
Promote, promote, promote. Brain
finger
feel right
sauce.
How much are they paying you?
now. I generally, I own pieces of.
Way too much.
Daniel in the background. Phil doesn't know what he's talking about. No, it's exactly 31 to 13, Daniel.
MC.
No, I didn't say you know what you were talking about. I said you're off tune,
Oh, well,
right?
that's.
All I do is win. All I do is win. All I do is win. That's not how it
I'll
goes.
give you that.
All I
Like,
do is win, 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 no,
no
matter what.
what.
You go, all I do is win. All I do is win. All I do is
Up,
win.
up, and they stay there, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down.
You go with the Frank Sinatra rap style.
I want to hear it.
Oh, I want to hear that style. Come on.
Rolling down the street, talking about sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
And doing it.
That's what happens when Hellmuth raps.
And doing it. Bill's way.
That's gonna make
I
the blooper
did it.
show.
Yeah, I was gonna
My way. If you don't think that's going on the show, then
Oh, it's in there.
1000.
I like watching Daniel do Phil rapping Sinatra style, like his
Yeah.
mix.
Call.
A couple of players have middle pair on the 9-5-4 board.
All right.
Heads up.
It was a limp pot pre 4 ways. Now the 9 pair's on the turn.
Rolling down
Advantage
street,
right
smoking
with the kicker.
Indo, sipping on gin and juice.
Yes,
Laid back
like poetry.
2500.
with my mind
He's
on
got
my
it.
money and my money on my mind.
And a disciplined laydown there on the turn
Oh, I have a funny feeling you're right.
from Buffer. It was a
Maria,
rough
looking
outing
at
for
this
Nick
season,
Wright
keep
in his
looking
first
up
ever
and
Poker
see
After
how
Dark
he
appearance,
was just
Cash Game
upstairs.
Streets.
It's just
I know. I like yesterday. That's what I was looking
He was
at.
sitting right where
really
Daniel was sitting
staring into my
yesterday.
soul.
Yeah. Yesterday, Ellie was in 2 places at
But
once. He was
perhaps
there, but he was
helping
also
him
right
feel
next to
better
me.
about
Yeah.
things.
like
Cash
He's
game
fine.
yesterday, is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
This tweet
What'd you
from
spend,
April
25,
13th, high praise from
Big game. It was a big game.
the legend himself, Doyle
I mean,
Brunson,
Everyone bought in for 20. I think.
saying Nick has
Are
the
you guys
best
filming
opinion
games
of
every day?
any sports announcer.
They do it for like a week stretch at a time, every like couple months right now.
Okay.
Every month or 2.
Oh, it's one.
It just went up
Okay.
last hand.
Excellent.
Call. Raise 3000. Raise 9000.
Jennings with the suited connector. Vied for a table for 2 against Buffer, who limped with the inferior hearts, but Maria with the ace-queen now, seeking
I kept holding
3
his hands
scoops.
the other day. I'm sorry, Ellie. I apologize.
Phil and I had a little post-mortem after his last
right,
match in
back to
reference to some
punch.
spots
There
where
we
he
go.
folded a couple of 8s, but a different situation
Give my hand back.
altogether.
Little S&M poker.
I won't begrudge him for getting out of there for a double. Meanwhile, 10-9 turns into a double gutter. Ace high, still best.
Nice beat there, Daniel.
Got some skills.
I was getting ready to start rapping.
Oh boy, Frank Sinatra and I don't know,
What you
Johnny
got?
Cash.
Let's hear it.
I have to figure something out.
9,000.
I don't know.
I actually wouldn't mind doing a rap song. That'd be fun.
Way up, I feel blessed. Way up.
See?
I
Is that
feel
not a
blessed.
Frank Sinatra style?
It was Life I
Actually,
I don't know. I
Deserve.
gotta sit
a
back
really
and
good.
Way up.
9K C-bet from
Fuck,
Maria
I'll
gets
feel better.
called by
Word.
Peter. Now 2
Mama
clubs on the
said
board along
knock
with 2
you
kings.
out. Mama did say I should knock you out.
I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out.
I know he's got that.
Check
one in
back
there.
from Maria. And the ace
You
pops
didn't
up.
think we'd be popping like this?
You win.
did you?
She happily
What
checks
the f-
back
did I get
with
into?
the 3rd diamond out there.
I didn't think
Queen
I'd be.
10
I thought I'd be
Would
sitting
have created some
between,
problems for her as well.
you know, 2
Queen,
players
pushing the queen.
100 times better than me. I didn't think I'd be
Healthy pot.
sitting between a singing competition. It's like
Nice hand
Hit
move.
an X.
extra tilting.
Phil, you're,
Should Phil go on
you're a
Masked
dog.
Singer?
Plus 150.
That would be.
Oh boy.
I had a Phil's top 10 hand I folded for you.
Phil, you should go on the Masked Singer.
Yeah, that's what I think, right?
Yep.
One of those
It's not a,
crazy internet
I
kids.
thought it was. I don't
not-
know. I
I'm not
feel
your
like I
boy
saw a
Brandon.
lot of people all of a
Your boy
sudden
Brandon
traveling
cannot fold
to.
for
I'm not
under
sure. I don't know
100
where.
big
Actually,
blinds
I'd
straight.
take a visa back.
He
I'm
has
not
to
sure.
X bet
3,000?
it all in. He has to find a way to put the last bet in with 2s. And you know that.
Okay, lines up.
Yeah, I just folded
Which is
eights.
funny 'cause he
I
plays
folded
like no
eights
one
against
else.
Maria already, so
I'm like
Tonight?
an ace king
Today?
backboard or
Yeah, when I 3-bet Pete.
no, before the flop.
What is 5,500?
I think
You had eights,
about
Phil?
poker differently. Yeah.
The raise, re-raise hand, he had 8s. He'd have been
That would have
winning
been
on
a
the
good
flop.
flop. I had 10-9 suited in that hand.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you've had a good
Came
flop.
king, jack,
It was a
4,
great
right?
flop, and then the worst turn. And then I'm like, oh, she has an ace, and then an ace on the river. It's just every hand.
You know.
Ace, king, 10.
You were just getting ready to bluff the river, and
Yeah.
the ace came, and you're like,
king,
ah.
queen. No, she has an ace. Flush draw.
Aguiar flops bottom set against Wright's top pair.
Everyone thinks I'm super
the
tight
all-diamond
on the
texture
end, and somehow
might be a
Maria and I
savior
get
for Nick.
Crazy hands all the time.
He checks back. Now the 4th diamond.
I do miss
Rolling
Tiger
off.
Jam. I normally see you guys.
Could slow John down.
Yeah.
It'll be back next year.
We're talking about, hopefully.
Indeed.
I miss those nice Poker Stars trips to Barcelona and Bahamas. They do a nice job when they do those things.
Still no post-flop betting. Total brick on the river.
Are you guys playing live poker a lot here in Vegas? Are you going to casinos
I've
at
been
all?
home for a year. I didn't do that.
Yeah, again, it's my first live game in over a year. Yeah.
I've been filming a lot. I think I played once live this trip, and then once way back in
So
July.
this is
or
like your 3rd live. Well, you're playing.
No, I film all the time, so that's
Yeah,
different. We test first, and we play live games in the Bay Area too. But everybody, you get these tests, right?
Hey, all my friends.
90 seconds. You'll know the result in 90 seconds. Yeah, the rapid test.
test is only good, they say, if you're in day 2 or day 7 of COVID. So there's still.
Aguiar fired 1,500 on the end. And Nick Wright stands up, makes it 8,500.
Somebody.
The best hand goes into the mud.
All 7 players play that.
You might not expect an amateur like Wright to know when to turn top pair into a bluff. This kid's got some tricks up his sleeve. We'll be right back. Just before the break, Nick Wright showed off some non-amateur moves, putting in a nice river bluff that got pro Jonathan Aguiar off a set of 9s. Now back to the
Here's
action.
what pisses me off. I played against, all I did is play against the greatest players, all through the 80s and 90s, because those are the only people that played the tournaments.
But everybody was
Right.
bad back then.
Well, that's not. fair.
Everybody
I don't
was
think that's
the best
fair.
players.
Okay,
were
so
still-
why don't you tell the story, and then when you're done, I'll tell my story.
Oh, you hit a nerve.
Don't interrupt me. Let me get my spiel in, or don't.
I like
I don't
when
want.
people
I don't
hit
want
those
to play.
nerves.
I don't want to play. I don't want to play the debate game where I just get cut off with bull. Daniel does that to me all the time. I don't want to
Daniel
hear
hasn't
it.
said anything. He didn't do anything.
Daniel's
but go
great
ahead.
at that.
But let's hear it. Go ahead.
I have to silence.
Guilty
Daniel
before you
I
do it,
start.
right?
You know how many times he's done this? He says, don't say anything, let me finish, and then you can talk. Then I don't say a word, right? Then I go, okay, so Phil, here's the thing. Within 3 seconds, he goes, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but then you call me out and I shut up.
Well,
I mean, A guy can be wrong, but admit he's wrong. Like, that's important in life. There's a lot of people in poker that don't admit they're wrong.
My whole goal was to not play Maria. No, that's your line.
That's my
Did you guys ever see the movie Step Brothers?
And Phil, to win tournaments, you have to play a bunch of great players, of course. But
So
like,
this is what pissed me off.
That.
Let me respond, and let's see if nobody interrupts me. Maybe I'll fucking finish. All through the 90s, I played against the greatest players. They all played in the tournaments. I beat them all. Same thing in the 80s, right? And then all of a sudden, they developed this narrative that I'm not good against good players. So the very field that has all of the great young players are the turbos. And in the last 4 turbos, I have a first, a sixth, a fifth, 3 final tables, some crazy amount, 3 final tables in 5 years. And this is the one where I'm not supposed to compete because all the GTO guys, it's all math because the blinds go up so quickly. So it's f***ing aggravating for me. You know,
Not
to hear,
aggravating,
to hear
it's a
this
jack
stuff,
on the
you know.
turn for me.
I thought that the greatest poker player of all time was the one who was going to win the most bracelets. That's what I set out to do. I did that. And now all of a sudden, oh wait, you're not the greatest of all time, you know. And so if people come and say, Phil, you're not the greatest today, I want a chance to prove I am, but I can't say that I'm better than a lot of the people because that's not fair to them. Not because they study, but because there's a lot of talented players out
Maria.
there, right?
That also study.
Bets 22,500
Daniel,
on
you
the
know,
river with backdoor
tell you what,
spades
like,
coming
if you
in.
study, if you study bad math, do you become better at math?
How do you know it's bad if you've never studied it?
That's not my question to you. You want to say yes or no to the
Well,
question?
when you define something as bad math, okay?
I mean,
turn the nuts, Maria.
But to assume,
I'm actually having fun with you.
I know, but that's kind of like a really, I just know 57% is wrong.
Let me ask you a question, Daniel. This I think, and work with me. We can have a discussion together without being like, you know.
Wow.
Something good comes from playing.
Interrupt
this is the
that
question.
debate to bring you a
I'm gonna stay
Nick
away from
Wright
the mouse.
fold with the winner. He said, why so much?
The table is tilted towards her.
Maria raised the cutoff to 6,000. He flatted the small. Both players
wouldn't
checked the jack-high
claim
board.
for
He made the
calling
nuts
for
on the turn.
Let me ask
His
you this,
5K
Daniel.
got
They
called, and then
thought
the
a whole
massive
group
bet
of
of
kids thought the top
22.5
five
after
poker in
Wright checked it,
2005.
I don't think that's true.
sends his
A
king
whole group of kids, they said,
into the muck. Before the break, Maria Ho put on a bluffing clinic and got Nick Wright to fold a straight. Now she and Daniel Negreanu are sharing the chip lead with the blinds at 1,500, 2,500.
Then it's hard to measure who the greatest cash game players are because there's a little buddy.
Well, I'm not even
about
talking
on-
about.
what
I'm not
about-
even. I'm talking about your genre, which is tournaments, and I'm saying the best tournament poker players in the world, right, today, are generally playing. I'm going to make it 6,000 in the high roller events.
Like this one. I said like this one.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see better players generally in a 25K buy-in than you are in a $300 buy-in. I don't think that's controversial.
That's right.
I think it's pretty black and white. So have you played Bilzerian, Phil, Dan?
Once or twice.
Did I win?
You win.
No. Oh no.
You and
Oh, sorry.
no.
Sorry.
I didn't see his hand.
I didn't see.
Sorry, I have cards.
I apologize.
No, don't.
I'm glad Daniel didn't muck his hand. My bad, guys.
No, I do get mad at them moving the goalposts, and they're like, well, whoever wins the most money, then I just went out and won all this money. And they're like, oh, yeah, but now you're not playing against the best to win the money. Like, I mean, Daniel's like such a politician. He changes the goalposts and changes and changes and changes. And
I think you're going to be up
frustrating.
against that forever, Phil.
Yep, agree.
5.
I didn't expect it from
It's
Daniel.
lonely at the top, isn't it?
Didn't expect it from Daniel, though.
You want me to tell you I think you're better than Phil Ivey at something? What? What do I think you're better than Phil Ivey at? Like, name it. I don't know. What am I supposed to give you here?
I'm not better.
Bingo.
Promoting yourself.
I'm not better at Texas Hold'em than Phil Ivey?
No, you're not better at Texas Hold'em than Phil Ivey.
You want to bet on what he would say? Because
Well, I already know what Phil would say. He's like, oh no, Phil Hellmuth's the best, because he doesn't care like you do, right?
He doesn't care.
He's not. Well, he's not going to say something like to boost his ego or whatever. He doesn't give a people think really in that regard.
So his opinion doesn't matter.
Well, his opinion on who's better, he's going to say you because he wants action. Okay, he's a hustler, old school.
You hit
know
it.
what I'm saying?
You hit it.
Ivy knows
He
him
doesn't wanna-
better at Hold'em than he is, and he knows he's better at almost every other game than me. We discussed this. We know this.
You're not better at Phil Ivey at like literally anything except promoting yourself. That's it. That's all you got. Phil Ivey would mash you in every other format, and I'll bet my money on it. And if there's Phil Ivey, there's other examples. Not even Phil Ivey.
Ouch.
Okay, heights and weights, guys. Heights and weights. Get ready for this. I need a microphone. I have a microphone.
Can we talk about CryptoPunks again?
Are you kidding? This is the stuff that's going to make like.
Your results in high rollers, 25K no limit above. You have 0 firsts, 0 seconds, 0 thirds.
How much
That's
money?
not
'Cause
exactly.
You lied about me. You never corrected
Wait, is
it.
that true or not? Is that a fact or not? Have you had a third or better?
Correct.
He's pretty polarized.
So what do you want to say? You can't beat the high rollers if you never beat
As
them.
he's like,
I'm up $1.5 million in high
Congrats
rollers.
on that.
Also,
But
like,
like,
So why do you lead
I
with
just
that?
said a fact because I'm saying a fact. You've
Yeah,
never
because
come
you're a
first,
politician.
second.
You just want to spin it.
Because is it true? Have you ever come first, second, or third in a 25K no limit or above?
No, but I'm up 1.6
No.
million.
Well, hold on. The fact is no. So you've never won, you've never come second, you've never come third, but you think that you're the greatest at that format that other people have won 30, 40 million in.
I didn't say I was the greatest at that format, Daniel.
Nick, how do you feel about your seat right now?
I love it.
I didn't say I was the greatest
Hold on, but
at
your
that
but
format,
your plus
Daniel.
money.
That bet you want to make down.
Yeah.
Then I got a
more and
question.
more
I have a
attractive.
question for you.
Daniel
because
tweeted
you're-
out
you're
that I was
obviously a
losing
sharp
money.
Did you
gambler.
call me or no?
No.
Good fool.
Daniel tweeted that.
I don't know.
You're
I'm
obviously a sharp gambler.
I know you're polarized there, but you're
Daniel's
so
a
intense in
politician,
this
so-
conversation. I'm like, is he really pulling?
Even if you get, even
At
if you
5.
trap him, he'll
Ace.
talk his way out of it.
Since
which
you're
is interesting.
Great.
since you're, I folded second nuts. Since why are you? Because your bet with him is not he has to finish top 3 in a single tournament. It's that he has to show a profit.
Yeah.
And if lifetime he's shown $1.5 million profit in those
Because he's
tournaments.
played 7 of them. You know what I mean? It's like, and he played 2 of them, which are $1 million buy-ins. So if you look at his ROI, he's up like 1 buy-in. Actually, he's down. His ROI is negative, guaranteed. But he did cash in a $1 million buy-in
How could his
tournament.
ROI be negative?
Easily, because if you play a $1 million buy-in, right, and you cash for 2.6,
Yeah.
that's 1.5 buy-ins you've
Yeah.
won, right? So now you're up $1.5 million.
Oh, and then you're
But
saying.
then you play 25Ks and 50Ks and all
I
that
got
kind
it.
of stuff,
Okay.
and you lose 10 of those. Now all of a sudden,
I get
you know,
it.
your ROI would be minus 8.5 buy-ins, but your money would look
I
good.
understand. I got
Good,
you.
yeah.
Right?
Not
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
good.
You're saying it was
Queen
skewed
10
by
against
a
ace
massive-
queen
Yeah, skewed
pre,
by an
but it
outlier.
does turn
So
into
can-
backdoor clubs
with
and a
the
gutter
bet,
on the flop.
Can
As
he choose
Maria
to play any tournaments
c-bets
he wants?
He has
Can
to play 50 high rollers. He
And-
says.
but in how much
7,000 pre,
time?
now
He
7,500
gets as much time
post.
as he wants.
So he can, if he could play 25Ks, and if he gets
Hellmuth.
stuck, start playing 50s.
Well, no,
Hasn't
I would do it
connected,
by ROI.
but-
You can't just
Well,
bail
it has to be.
yourself
It's,
out.
it's,
Yeah.
Stays
unit
sticky.
based, right?
It's
Yeah, that wouldn't
buy-in,
be fair.
Save your $1 million
binks
buy-in.
the
and
ace.
if
It's not
you need
300,
them,
400
you can play
fields.
them up front.
It's
Double
30, 40
gutter
player
with the
field. So let's say you
second
buy in for a 25K,
second nut flush
right?
draw
You
for
finish first, you win like
Maria now.
250,000.
Oh, okay. I thought the first would be well over $1 million.
So now you've got-
Okay, so I got
Exactly.
it. Okay, got it.
We have to get legal sports betting on poker
I
grudge
didn't.
matches. It would just be.
I really wanted
oh
to
my
see
God.
knew they
the.
weren't
I wanted to
massive
see
fields,
these
but
guys
I
play a
thought
lot of
first
hands.
place
'Cause I think the work that you just did
Well, that would
really
be close.
underrated.
If
Like,
there's any state regulators listening, you need to legalize this stuff. You need to be able to bet on the grudge match.
18,500 chip
You know, I wish the
bet
feds
on
would
the
just get
turn,
smart and
promptly
make it a
called by
nationwide
Hellmuth,
decision
and
instead
Maria
of a state
hits
by
the
state
club.
Decision.
Even
We are a
even
republic.
Even if they do, the
We are a
individual
republic.
states still
The re-
do it.
The reason that we have sports betting now is because because the federal courts decided the states have the rights to offer it if they want to, even if the feds don't want to let them.
Right.
So
at least
we
we
got
have
to take
that.
the good
Wait
with the
for it.
bad.
Why is California taking so long?
The tribes, any state. that
That's
has-
what I heard.
any
Yeah, the
state-
Indian-
any
yeah, the
state that
Indians,
has a
yeah.
big tribal gaming representation.
100% you were going to bluff off the money to me.
For the last 15 years.
How do you get away with it?
Maria's braced for impact.
The article that the number one
Easiest player on the planet to
number
trap.
one sports betting location for some month
Got away with against me the whole time we filmed, and now you're beating my hands
was
on top of
a
it.
Starbucks parking lot right off the
What were you going to give me on the river, like a 50?
because it's the
Just before the break, chip leader Maria Ho sent Phil Hellmuth into orbit by rivering a flush against him. Let's see how the poker brat responds at the 1,500, 3,000 level.
Daniel, I hear Phil kind of talking to himself. I think he got under his skin a little bit.
Me? No.
no. Well, this guy.
No, he
This
played a
guy,
part-
this guy
I
started.
got it going. I got it going. But that.
That's
but
his
then
job
also
right here.
Maria also just rivered a flush on him, and that didn't
Yeah,
help.
with Queen 10.
I
Is
mean,
it Queen 10?
I know she's
the
done-
double belly buster with the flush
You
draw.
had the ruthless hand.
Maria's-
You had the ruthless
She is
hand.
the easiest player on the planet to
You know what?
trap.
This is sexism because if the last
guys
time
should
somebody
praise
put a
her.
beat on you with Queen 10 like that, you called him the biggest idiot on earth, and it was like a
Yeah, but
2-hour
I mean,
diet.
Maria had a huge
No, you guys
hand
wanted
on
to
the
talk
made-
over
you made Adam Levy
No, you guys. This is the one.
famous
This is the
with
one
that
group
Queen
that
10.
talked right over my rant. Luckily, it won't be shown. I won't be embarrassed. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. No one's talked over my rant in the last like 30 shows I've shot.
24.
What, they haven't shown it?
No, I mean I was ranting, but everybody had a separate discussion. It's great.
Oh, I got you.
It's hard to separate the audio. you know.
Yeah.
They'll pull it out of your mic. I'm sure they'll get it.
Negranu
I'm sure
thinks
they're
Probably
Maria might
waiting
be
to get as
speeding.
much of it as they
I'm sure they
can,
have them all
Phil.
going.
She's got the real deal, though. It's a big ask, another 17,000. Upside is she'd be in position.
10 seconds. Call.
So she'll take a look at a flop, and we've got 54,000 in the middle. Nines are an overpair on the 8-high 2-club board. $30K c-bet. Maria makes the call, and king or a 10 would be good for Daniel. And there it is, on cue. Maria does pick up a gut shot straight draw, but she's no longer in the lead. Daniel concerned about the possibility that Maria was slow playing bigger than 10s. Opts to check, play pot control, and Maria looked a little apprehensive, but checks back and now running top 2 for Daniel, who can rest very easy that his hand is best. How much will he seek? Into 114,000.
68.
68K. This is over half of Daniel's remaining stack and represents roughly half of what Maria's got. What sort of hands would be in Daniel's range here to 3-bet out of the small, fire the 30 on the flop, check the turn, and then come out swinging on the river that 2 9s can beat? You can just feel the uncertainty here for Maria, and you can't blame her. She's dipped into her time banks well beyond the 30-second shot clock.
That must have been a tough one, Maria.
It had to be a tough. It felt like 9s or jacks.
Wow.
Yeah. 9s at first, and then
One of those two.
yeah.
I don't know. Daniel.
Nice hand, Daniel.
No.
Thanks.
Top shelf read from Daniel and top shelf
John,
fold
what was
from
it
Maria.
like when? What was it like for you when DraftKings went public? Were you just sweating and checking every second on your phone, or?
He's got a new nickname.
Oh, by the way, thank you. I've been making money on you. I really appreciate it.
I love to hear it.
Yes.
It was, I mean, it was a crazy time because like we announced the SPAC, and like SPACs weren't like a thing when we
Yeah.
announced it.
Yeah.
So like we announced that around Christmas time, and we had locked in the date in April, and then COVID started to get really bad in February, and then into March, and all the sports got canceled, and
Oh my
it was
God.
just kind of like nobody knew.
Nice bet, Daniel.
Nobody knew what was
that?
going to
It's a
happen.
nice bet.
And then
Maybe I should have bet a little less.
The markets, I mean, the markets went off. the
Oh,
rails
don't you
in
say those
March.
words and help me sleep better
Recovered by
tonight.
April.
I'll say this: I either got lucky on
all
the
good
river
from
or I
there.
got unlucky on the river. One of those two things.
Ooh, you were going for like a
Either one of those two
trappy-
things. I either got
trappy
lucky on the river or I got unlucky on the river.
turn. Yeah.
If that makes
Okay.
sense.
No, I always check. I'm always going to check the turn with my hand as played, and then the river.
Call.
If you had it, then yeah.
It's a bad
Unlucky
river for
river.
you either way.
I'm almost gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna call most rivers, except for yeah.
Let's see if the 9s work out any better for Maria on this occasion. It's going to be a tall order considering that she's up
Yeah, John,
against
so you
2
guys
10s instead of
announced
king
on
10.
Christmas. COVID comes, you must have thought the valuation's going to be like 25%.
Daniel chose to just flat it, and Maria hits the 9.
People would always ask me, like, my crystal ball's broken. Like, what's the stock market going to value a company at?
Well, I mean,
who-
especially DraftKings in the middle of the pandemic, the number should you would expect the valuation to go way
By
down.
April, people had come to their senses and realized we were going to spend our lives for a considerable amount of time at home, online, and then it was just like,
Zoom, Netflix, online gambling, all that
League of
stuff.
Legends, DFS.
It was ping pong.
That was big in
Russian ping pong.
Colorado.
What's
Like
the game you were
baseball
talking about,
started
Phil,
being
with
on
the beanbag and the board?
ESPN.
Yeah, cornhole. That was those were, it was like ESPN
35?
8, the Ocho, like had come back for COVID. It's just like, oh, let's check in on some e-racing, and
That's right.
So then you just decided to just leave DraftKings after?
I'm still
Oh,
drafting.
he's still there.
And that card
I'm
was a good
furniture.
card for me too.
They got to
we
move
call
me out
him-
with a truck.
Good.
We call him. It was
Couple
Rich
tens,
John.
couple
It was
tens
Rich
I had.
John, but I
Yeah,
changed
I had a
Negreanu.
set, so I had to bet big. I
it.
9.
Liquid John now.
Gets
Now
away
it's
from the two
liquid
tens.
Aggie are.
Not willing to give back those hobucks that he picked up a pot ago. And so we'll head to a break, and as we do, let's check in on the stack sizes, brought to you by GG Poker. Negreanu way at the top. Maria restoring some order, trailing behind him, and the gap's broad between herself and Nick Wright. Down to Hellmuth, Aguiar, Buffer, and Jennings in that order, with the blinds going up when we return. Stay close. Plenty more Poker After Dark sit and go action still to come. Well, our sit and go has featured a wealth of humorous bickering between Negreanu and Hellmuth. Veronica caught up with Kid Poker to get his thoughts on the brat.
So Phil Hellmuth at the table. He is known for freaking out, having some tilt. You gonna try to get him to tilt today?
Well, Phil Hellmuth is definitely my favorite player to play against in the entire world, and you just hope that by the end of the thing that you get at least one they, right? Because I knew I made it in poker when he called me a they. He's like, they just don't understand. And I was like, I'm they? I'm part of they. I made it.
You are they. So what's the easiest way to make Phil Hellmuth tilt?
Well, there are some ways you can go real deep and cut, but he doesn't like that. Like when I make the joke about coaches and stuff, I don't know, he takes that very, very personal. Or questioning his legacy or anything like that. Oh,
Which is
yeah.
the only thing Twitter ever does.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And Jamie Horwitz has been around forever.
And I think you know
He's a
my
baller.
I think you know my boss now, Charlie Dixon.
Yeah.
He was part of the whole poker crew when ESPN was running the World Series. And, yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Horwitz was a huge supporter of poker, and this show, Poker After Dark, was on NBC 6 days a week because of him. I mean, not just because of him, because of Daniel's glowing personality.
What happened now? What I do now?
No, he gave you a compliment. Oh, okay. He said it's one of the reasons this show was successful.
Honestly, the #1 reason that Poker After Dark was successful was watching Phil
I'm
Ivey
sorry.
play props. That was my favorite part of Poker After Dark. They canceled props.
14.
How much were
14,000.
when you guys
Blind
were playing
versus
the
blind in a
original
limp pot.
before they made you stop on high stakes poker? you
Both
guys were
players
playing the props.
open-ended. And Hellmuth raises
How much were
it
the
up.
props for? Like at the end of the night, what was the swing range?
You could win probably 200,
Okay.
300,000, something.
So as much as you could win or lose in the game, the props.
Sometimes the props were bigger. Like it depends. So the way the props
Maria
work is,
defends the
you win
4K
a prop,
lead for an
then
extra
you're on for
10 as the
doubles.
board pairs
You
on
win
the
another
turn.
one, then you're on for triples. So whatever it is, like there was one prop I remember that I had because I was silly. If I would have won, if the flop came 5-5-5 and I was on for triples, it's $1 million my way. It was a stupid idea.
Tell me this straight again. I'm sorry, it fell off.
Be very
Diversified.
different, but I had 7 props, and 5 of them had a 5 in it. So when 5-5-5 hits, you hit all your props, and it's
Yeah.
just madness.
if it's
Doing the math.
14,000.
Maria taking initiative.
Gabe hated him.
Leads out for 14,000 with
game.
No, it's
7
people are always
high.
like-
People were more
Takes
worried
the
about the
pot.
props.
When I get you off.
And there was
track,
actually
I'll
Phil
suck
Ivey,
out.
he's again very
That's all.
smart. He would actually
You can try to
play
outplay
poker
me and do
hands
all the
different
crazy but just
based on the props.
Give me the
And
stack.
tricky.
It's called a change-up.
Yeah. So you're saying there's a puncher's chance?
I'm saying there's a puncher's chance, Daniel. Thank you so
Puncher's
much.
chance bourbon. Bruce Buffer.
Now, do I have to
Bust
send you a
the
check?
buffer. Yes.
This hand is sponsored by.
Because I know
Puncher's
Phil's going to
Chance
ask me for a
Bourbon.
check if he says that.
If somebody goes busting this hand, I'm the one that needs at least a free case of Punter's Chance.
No problem.
If
For
somebody goes
DraftKings,
busting, if this hand's on TV, I need some Punter's Chance for the Derby.
especially Saturday
Beat
night,
him in
you're
the
going to
pot.
watch the UFC
Always.
Saturday night. You
Okay.
have it then, yeah.
Wow, we got a double.
I'm just a wild and
Well,
crazy
actually,
guy.
No, this is being aired in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But if they
there's
had
probably a UFC that Saturday night too.
trust me, if I had bottles, I had to fly. I would have brought you all a bottle.
Yeah. I'm curious to try this thing now because, like I said, I've had bad experiences. I don't like whiskey.
You're not going to have a bad experience here. Did you get my text? Do I still have your same number?
Check.
Maria can't love always having Hellmuth sticking around in these pots against
No,
her,
let me check. see if I
especially
got
when he's in
the,
position.
My number's the same. If you have mine, just throw me in
me
address,
see.
please.
Yo. So see if you got the yo,
She checks middle pair
I
as
sent you
opposed
a
to
yo.
c-betting it.
just to make sure it's you.
She check calls
I have
8,000
them-
on the
I think I
flop.
sent you. I'll send you back a picture of the bottle. We haven't made in France. They're beautiful bottles.
Yeah. Definitely curious now.
My partners were behind the marketing of Sammy Hagar's Cabo Wabo Tequila, Campari, and Skinny Girl. Have you ever heard of Skinny Girl?
The wine?
The wine, yeah. I've got a great partner team in this thing.
Wow.
Thanks, Daniel.
Let's see. If you missed the flop, you would have won 100% fired. But now you check.
Oh, Daniel, I want to get you. You were on my podcast many years ago. I want to get you and Phil back on sometime. I mean, I'm going to have you on and him, but at different times. I'm afraid if you get on there together, it's going to be.
You won't get many questions in. That's typically
Both
what
players check the turn, and Maria's river
Actually, it
bet
might
takes
be really
it.
good.
Poor Nick Schulman.
Should have just checked right back to you. You always check when you hit it with me.
Thanks to Maria's hold over Phil, she is in contention once again for the chip lead, while Hellmuth sits in fourth. We still have 7 players. We'll be back in a moment. Poker After Dark is brought to you by Roman. Simple, straightforward, the way healthcare should be. Visit GetRoman.com to learn more. Manscaped. Don't gamble with your grooming tools. Visit Manscaped.com today for the best in men's grooming. And Poker Go. Get in the game at PokerGo.com.
I heard Shane Sixby got quite the wine collection as well.
He made an eagle today on our last
we
hole.
were golfing with Shane this morning, actually.
Yep. He made an eagle today on the last hole.
I'm glad we played an emergency 13th hole, and Shane got me
He decided to
unburied.
make an eagle.
It's really hard to make an eagle.
It is.
It is.
When you're Shane, it's actually not that hard.
When you're Shane, you can just hit it 330
He's like
down the
a-
middle, then hit
he's
a
a-
2-iron up the hill, 260 yards, and
He's like a what, plus
splash the butt.
plus 4? Plus
Oh
4?
my God, a +4.
Are you a golfer too?
He played golf at Notre Dame.
Yeah, he played U.S. mid-ams.
You guys
I
must-
golf with Chuck Liddell. The very first hole I played with Chuck Liddell,
Ooh, what's
he
his
hit his
swing like?
first shot, his first drive. He hit it. I've never seen one do this. It was a total of negative 40 yards. He hit it straight into a tree, and it bounced back
Backwards.
all the way.
Happy
You
golfer
can
style.
re-tee that, right?
I mean, it was like, I don't know.
I was
What?
expecting
I
that
don't even know what
score
the
to
rule
go.
I don't think so. No, he hit
have
a
to go
tree.
back and play?
He hit it
Yeah,
played it.
you mean like
What did you do?
in
If you
real
find
golf?
it in bounds, you have to play.
If you've had it in rebound, you have to
Even
go
if
play.
it goes
Poker-related
backwards.
action.
Yeah.
You still have to play.
Maria
it
defended her
ways, right?
big and has outflopped the ace-queen of
I
Daniel.
felt like when you were talking about Chuck Liddell driving, you were going a different direction. I was expecting this 400-yard.
Yeah, me too. That's what I thought.
prodigious
I thought
drive.
that's exactly what I
Yeah,
thought.
that's what I was thinking too.
When you
He'd, like,
said
hit something
first
out
shot
the
of the
park.
round.
Right.
His caddy was wearing high heels, which was a mistake.
Was it a he or a she?
Was it Bally High?
Yeah, what's it-
Sounds like Bally High.
2021, right?
Sounds
It
like
was a
Bally
day.
High.
Yeah.
Maria calls and promptly hits top 2, but that
Check
card
the
gives
people.
Daniel
Yep.
gut shot.
He helped me. I did the couple of UFC shows this week's and last week's.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And I called him for picks because I
Oh,
didn't want to
very cool.
pretend I was a UFC specialist.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, there's a lot of eyeballs.
In fact, we're gonna shoot a show. Bruce will invite you. I'm gonna make him captain, and it'll be a UFC. It'll be like Hellmuth's home game, or like
what again?
Fox Sports Hellmuth's home game. Small stake stuff. I mean,
You gonna film it here or in LA?
Vegas.
Let me know. It depends
We'll
on
invite you. Maybe you could bring a fighter or somebody else.
Just let me know and I'll check my schedule because it's
Yeah,
all about that.
Obviously, you're in, but
No, but contact me.
yeah, I'll let you know.
Absolutely.
We don't have a date yet. Sometime late in June.
Supposedly Vegas is going to be open. They're talking about the
17th?
McGregor fight July 10th, the sellout T-Mobile.
Nice work out of Maria here as she
So I guess
checked,
they're gonna open up?
slipping it to
Can't beat
Daniel.
The show this Saturday, we sold out
28,000
50,000 seats in less
extra
than
chips.
22 minutes.
Off his stack with the
I
check
can't wait
raise.
for a month from now when you can sell out all the seats.
Was there a date set?
Mid-May, I think, is when all the restrictions are supposed to be.
Next time on Poker After Dark.
You changed every card that's going to come out now. Everything that happens is your fault.
The bust outs begin.
All in.
I'll take a flop with Phil.
I can't get away from this. I'm all in.
As the money bubble looms,
It's the Maria show. It's just the Maria show now.
Always.
and the pots get gigantic. Oh!
Whoa. What just happened?
All you can eat.